Research firm Mobile Squared says 90% of all text messages are read within 3 minutes of receiving them. My next guest, he says he has decided to use that mobile power for good. Jeb Orry, Phone to Action co-founder and CEO, joins me now. Jeb, how exactly does your program work?
Well, thank you so much for having me today. Phone to Action is a civic engagement platform that connects a cause's supporters with their elected officials so they can advocate for policies about which they're passionate. Our clients are nonprofits and companies that use our tools to generate grassroots support so their supporters can let these elected officials know what matters and what's important. When you talk to elected officials, they'll tell you that hearing directly from their supporters and from their constituents is one of the most important factors in helping them decide how to vote. And our technology helps amplify their voices so they can be part of the civic process.
So do you tweet at them? Do you have their generic at mail.house.gov email addresses? How exactly does that work?
All of the above. So our clients will create campaigns that they share with their supporters over email, over social media, even by text message, as you mentioned in the lead-in. And then our supporters will be able to click on a link and go to an action center where our system will instantly match them with their elected officials, and they can talk to the officials at the local, state, or federal level, depending on the type of campaign that's been set up. And they can email them, they can call their staff's office, they can tweet at them, or they can post on their Facebook walls. Meanwhile, all the data is captured on the back end so our clients know exactly how the campaign's progressing.
How exactly do you get all this data?
We use a number of different systems, and we have data miners that are actively working. So whenever a state legislature or city council turns over, we're going in and we're looking and trying to figure out what the new Twitter handles are, what the Facebook pages are, what their email addresses are, and we're constantly keeping things updated.
What are some of the nonprofits you're working with, and how's it been going so far?
Things are great. One of our clients is the American Heart Association, and we just finished a great campaign with them. So up in New York, for the last 15 years, the New York State Legislature has been working on a bill that would allow for CPR training in school. So every graduating senior would learn how to give CPR to be able to save lives. But the bill hasn't been able to advance. So this last year, we partnered with the American Heart Association. They used our mobile tools to build a rapid responder network. And they were able to, the bill passed out of the House and the Senate. And then it got to the governor's desk. And they mobilized the rapid responders network to be able to drive 7 hours of calls into the governor's office on a Friday. So literally the phone was ringing off the hook, the entire day. And they followed up that Tuesday with a social media barrage that drove hundreds of Facebook posts on the governor's wall and tweets at the governor's official handle. And what happens, this is the modern version of people protesting in the town square or in front of City Hall. It was overwhelming public support, and he realized that it was a bill that the people wanted. He signed it, and it's on the way to becoming law.
So let's say I'm an elected official and I work on a relevant committee and something that one of your groups is lobbying on. What do I see? Do I see it over Twitter? Is it the same type of message over and over again? Is it unique? What am I looking at as a lawmaker? How are you trying to influence me?
Great. So it depends, of course, on the method of communication. If it's an email that goes in, the supporters can customize the email however they want. If it's a phone call, they'll get some talking points that lay out some things that they could talk about, but it's obviously up to them to say what's coming from their heart. And then with Twitter and Facebook, there are kind of templates that you start with, but we're always encouraging people that are taking action to put their own voice in the communications, so it helps rise above the rest.
Jeb, thanks so much. Jeb Orry,
thank you.
Phone to Action co-founder and CEO.